looks like Newsom and the zombies are back. Thank you so much for tuning in to this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. I really appreciate it. And I just have a few tidbits on today, and that's going to include some commentary and just a little bit of buzz on some of the things that have been going on. Like there's been, of course, tons of things going on, but I'm going to give a word of thanks, of course, to our sponsors, of course, viewers like yourself. And I'll be right back to say hello to our friends in the chat room. We'll be right back. This show is brought to you in part by our sponsors. Whether you're interested in health, culture, politics, scripture, automobiles, or music, please check out Derek C. Williams, Killer Whale Channels, The Definition of Anarchy, Marcy T., Joseph Francis Burton, Paralysis by Analysis, Chrysler Imperial H, Little Miss Goth, AZ Infidel, Cold War Jesus, Anthony Scioli, and Let the Truth Be Told. We'll be right back right after this. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I will say hi to the friends in the chat. Marcy T, hello. How are you? Thank you for coming in. You said you're with your granddaughter. Hope you guys are having a great day. And Tyrant Spain TDOA, thank you so much for coming in. And shout out to TDOA. I'm glad you're here. I got to your stream at the 11th hour, but I did watch it. And I've actually kind of done like a double take on it. However, there were some things that you pointed out in there, and it kind of brings me to some of the imagery that you see, because that sign is, I'll explain the sign and everything. That sign is actually my neighbor's sign right there. And the sign was actually inverted. So I took it upon myself to flip the sign back up because it was at the base of the curb. So I decided to flip it back up. But I'm like, that's interesting that my neighbors, they were representing there. And but who knows? Maybe it'll be destroyed or whatnot before long. But it was actually face down. So I decided to flip it up, and I decided to use it for this particular stream. But yes. Thank you guys so much for coming in, and we'll get started in just a second here. Once again, welcome in. And I just want to talk about that imagery for a second. So yes, the sign that you see was actually it was a local sign, neighbor sign there. And but I will tell you one of the things that stood out to me the most. It just seems like, and I also labeled this zombie recall, because it almost looks like, somehow, I showed you guys some footage not too long ago in which a man was actually cleaning up around Skid Row in LA. And, I think I told you guys, the homeless, they don't, I'm not saying that they're all the same, but they don't really care to be shuffled around they don't really care to have their area cleaned. And so then that brings me to what I witnessed. And it just looks like they've returned, or they've kind of returned to the area. And anywhere from the gas stations to just shopping centers, they're everywhere. I've witnessed people eating out of the garbage can this weekend. I witnessed, of course, people that are collecting aluminum cans, plastic bottles, or whatnot. They are collecting these things into clear bags. And they just absolutely look like either there's something, of course, mentally going on there, just all kinds of, it just seems like they've kind of exploded back onto the scene. But it's like, is it possible? I mean, here's a theory, and it's a theory that someone else shared with me. So it's not that I can confirm that maybe these people were actually, are they able to remove them from the area? Were they able to remove them from certain areas during this whole recall thing? So it appeared that the problem was actually more under control than it actually is. As I'm telling you, just about every gas station, and it's a diverse group of people, and some of these people to me look like they're newly homeless people. Actually, they're more tents, more bridges with more tents underneath. It's just, and this is actually what you want. I'm not going to say that that I'm convinced that that's true, but I think the moment that they made it about Trump or Republicans, of course, these people are going to come out, or either they're going to subvert, the conservative or Republicans that they knew were going to come out to the actual polls. So it just seems to be a little bit of a pit. I'm not sure. I've even heard other people say, well, maybe I've heard people say, oh, well, they need to be more strategic. I've heard other YouTubers say that, the California voters should be more strategic, and maybe they need to vote for modern Democrats. And I'm like, okay, I'm not sure if that's strategic or you're looking for a silver lining here. I'm not sure I'm not sure, if it's going to get you to the same result. If we're going to end up one party rule, then what exactly is the difference? If strategic gives you the same result, how strategic is that? Is that strategic? I'm just saying. I mean, I'll tell you exactly who it was. It was on Brandon Tatum's show. He was telling people, I'm not saying that was his final conclusion, but he was talking about, he even mentioned other representatives that he would rather vote for than, in states that are majority, basically blue, or that are deep blue states, and how to, I guess, get somewhere edgewise. But I just don't think that's, to me, if people are going to deny that we have issues in our process, then no silver lining or strategic anything is going to improve the morale for people that are still investing in this process. And I think a lot of people, it's almost 2022. What do you guys think is going to happen then? What they passed the John Lewis Act. What do you think is going to happen then? They are not wanting power to be without, out of their grasp. They are not, and they will do whatever they have to do. And that's what I'm saying about that. So yes, I'm just saying that we're facing a new era of either enslavement or compliance, or it's new segregation. And to that point, I'm going to segue us into, I showed you guys a shout out to Tyrants by TDOA, Megan McGlover's video. I'm going to share another video with you. In fact, she has faced a retaliation based on the video that she posted that we showed here. And now I want to show something that she was saying, give you her perspective on what I call the new era of segregation. I'm going to share that with you right now. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And Fancy Truth is in. How are you? John H. Roberts. Thank you guys so much for coming in. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go to Megan's, I think she pronounces it Megan. I'm going to go to her clip on what's happening, because we did have a situation. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you the clip on We had a family in New York that were kicked out of a restaurant for not having their papers. Okay. And then I'm going to show you Megan's response, which I agree with her that this is a new era in segregation. I do. And, it's basically no different than a lunch counter, a march, you use this restroom, you use that water fountain. It's not different. Any minute now, the dogs are going to be out, or, Bull Connor style, dogs are going to be unleashed on people. It's just a sea of confusion, but I want to share that with you. I want to share first the video, the raw video as much as I can. And then I want to show you her response that kind of expounds on what I'm talking about on the segregation. And I think she has a great perspective on it, because New York is, to me, one of the biggest melting pots. If we're going to talk about race, it is huge. When you think about diasporic, if you go into that kind of canon on people that happen to be, African, or have some type of, mixed heritage, or that type of a bit. So we're going to go there. So I want to thank you guys again for coming in. I really appreciate the time. And I am going to open this up just a little bit. And thank you guys so much for coming in. So we'll start with the raw footage, and we're going to get that out of New York. And then we'll show the comments. We'll show her commentary and what her perspective is on the segregation due to the way this family was treated in the restaurant. So people just, people seem to be absolutely fine with what's going on. So do they want to just go back to sleep and have their, just go back to sleep and then live in your lie and do your thing? So I'm going to share this, give you guys the full scale on this one. And then I'll give you share her perspective on the segregation, the new age segregation. I'll give a few of my comments, and we'll move on to something else. All right. Thank you guys so much. And this is our family kicked out of a restaurant for not having their mocktail papers.
Are you refusing service? So you're going to enforce segregation because we just told you that we're religiously exempt.
You told us we had the vaccination.
I never told you any of that. I would never tell you that. I would never say that. I would never say that.
You have to leave.
You don't have to leave. If you have the flyer, that you're supposed to put into your window, right? Okay, go and read it. And you tell me we're not leaving. Well, I'm not leaving. You guys can leave. I'm not leaving. Everybody in here is okay with that? Everybody's in here okay with setting segregation in society? Everybody's okay with that? Oh, we don't have our vaccine card, so now the kids can't eat. We can't eat. You guys are okay with that? This is the America you want to live in? Is this the America you want to live in? This is America, and in America, everybody can eat.
All right, so there you are. You can see, kind of like right at the point of contention there. And he's very upset. He's very frustrated. And did you see those people? Did you guys pick up what they were doing? They were actually flipping this guy off when he's basically questioning their integrity, questioning their humanity. I'm about to get kicked out of here, and you guys are all just fine. Well, let me say it like this, and I've said this before. I said I was going to hold my commentary. I'll hold my commentary. I'm going to play that one more time so that you guys might pick up what the other patrons in the restaurant are actually doing on this. Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. So one more time for that one. And of course, we're going to get to Megan's comments, and then I'll give you my two.
So you're refusing to serve us? Are you refusing to serve us?
Yeah, you need the vaccination card.
So you're going to enforce segregation because we just told you that we're religiously exempt.
You told us we had the vaccination card.
I never told you any of that. I would never tell you that. I would never say that. I would never say that.
You have to leave.
You don't have to leave. If you have the flyer, that you're supposed to put into your window, right? Okay, go and read it. And you tell me we're not leaving. Well, I'm not leaving. You guys can leave. I'm not leaving. Everybody in here is okay with that? Everybody's in here okay with setting segregation in society? Everybody's okay with that? Oh, we don't have our vaccine cards, so now the kids can't eat. We can't eat. You guys are okay with that? This is the America you want to live in? Is this the America you want to live in? This is America, and in America, everybody can eat.
Okay, so did you see that? Did you actually see he asked the question and they responded? Did you hear? There was emphatic response, and there was also a bit of an FU coming out of the back, which he was actually getting flipped off, but same thing. But that's New York, and it's very infuriating because I think our history just seems to be getting more and more. It's just contradicted every single day, and it just makes you wonder about people just generally. Like, you got people that speak with a conservative tongue and speak conservative values, and then they live a filthy life, or they live a leftist, have more of a leftist lifestyle. You just don't. It's like, to me, it's like, are we at a point where we just trust no one? It's like every man or woman for himself at this point. I'm going to keep going here because I want to get on to Megan's response. So Megan's going to break this down her style. She's also fighting TikTok because they took down her post where she was, speaking about Biden and his mandate speech. So I'm going to take you to that, and then I'll give you my 2 cents on that. And so we're going to go there. Thank you so much, and welcome into Auto Watchdog. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing that one. And thank you guys so much for coming in. Hi, Jermaine G. Thank you for coming in. So I'm going to stop sharing that one. Let's go ahead and go over to Megan, because Megan puts this in a perspective that is something that I've thought of very often. The amount of things that people are willing to accept, the amount of things that when you talk about immigration and migrants, and we're the ones that are being criminalized. If you just look at our processes, we're the ones that are being vetted. We're vetted nonstop. But everyone else is seeming to just float and boat and coast right in here right now with no questions asked. And it's being done on our dime. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share. I'm going to share this one. Yeah, so it's good for Megan that she's fighting back. So I'm going to go ahead and share this with you. I'll give you the full screen on this. And we played Megan the other night. I haven't played her response or what they actually did to her based on that stream, but maybe we'll get into that later. But right now I'm going to go ahead and share this full screen. Thank you guys so much for coming in. All right, so I'm going to play this one.
This is the new slavery right here in front of your face, and color doesn't matter. I am appalled at the people sitting in that restaurant. I cannot believe that they would sit. If I was sitting in there, I'd be like, oh, well, you know what? I'm leaving. If they can't eat, then we're leaving. I'm taking my money somewhere else. But they sat there and let those people be discriminated against in front of their own children. You sat there and watched these people be forced to drink out of the colored fountain. You watched as these people were escorted to the back house in the back to go to the colored bathroom because they were not allowed to go to the white man's bathroom inside the restaurant. You sat there and watched as they were beaten in front of their children and raped in front of their children because they were runaway slaves. You sat there and watched as these people were discriminated against and segregated against because they wanted to get an education and wanted to get a good education, which was distinguished as white-only education. You sat there and let this owner tell these people that they were not good enough to eat in his restaurant because they did not have their freedom papers. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Your ancestors should be ashamed of you. Your mother, your father, your grandparents ought to be ashamed of you. And especially those people were not Americans, especially if you have the audacity to be here on a green card. You have the audacity to be here on my grandmother's back, and you're going to sit up here and say that they have the right to discriminate against those people, but you are here in this country, my country, on my dime?
Okay, so yeah, so there you have Megan's response to that in why restaurant incidents. I'm going to tell you the truth now. Just aside from, I'm not going to. I'll move on to my perspective on that, my historical perspective on that. For one, I think New York is to me, they have a culture of their own. If you're on the subway, I think it's the same kind of culture. If you're on the subway, I've heard of things happening to people on subways, and the people will sit there and they'll let it happen, or they'll basically look away as if they're going to be silent. They're not going to respond. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to hold the door. They're not going to do anything to, they're not going to do anything to thwart or to diffuse any situation. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to stand up. They're going to get out of the way is what they're going to do. Or they're going to act like they weren't there. They didn't see anything. They didn't hear anything. I think that's a real culture. And I've seen it. I've not just heard about it. I've heard about it from a New York perspective, but I've seen those kinds of cultures in, major cities, even in like LA. I've seen, something happens to you, they're not going to get involved. Even if it's wrong, even if it was something that they could do that wasn't even going to put them in harm's way, they are not going to get involved. So that and to me, that's kind of like a NIMBY culture. It's kind of like, the NIMBY culture I told you about with the homeless, that not in my backyard. Well, it's not happening to me. So, you better hold your own over there, because I'm not coming to your rescue. That's kind of that's also to me a part of culture, like a majority. I don't know if people want to say that's a city lifestyle, that's a city, kind of mantra, where we just mind our own business, or we don't want to get involved. But that's kind of the way that it was going. But you saw, and to Megan's point, yes, if the media mainstream can spin the narrative on or can project on segregation and slavery and that kind of a bit, I think Megan did a fine job with that. You have a lot of people in this country. They're not trying to be the new freedom fighters for you. In this situation, don't look for it. Don't look for solidarity. Don't look for protection. Don't look for a helping hand, because you're not going to get it. In fact, one of those guys was flipping that father off while he was asking them, is this the kind of country you want to live in? Are you guys okay with this? And they said yes. They said there were emphatic, it was almost a chorus of yeses. There was nobody that even tried to stand up and say, well, hey, maybe we can all talk to the owner and say, and I agree with Megan, like, okay, well, if this is the way you're going to treat them, we're not going to stay here. I'm not going to eat here either. You just go ahead and uphold your rule. And because I think it was over a medical, a religious, he mentioned that they had a religious exemption. But see, this is the thing, we don't have anything in place. We don't have anything to really combat, these edicts. I just don't know where that's going to go. So if you do go to a place like that, are you supposed to provide your religious exemption paperwork? And then you had the owner saying, oh, you told us you guys were mocktailed. And he says, no, I didn't tell you that. I would never tell you that. And then he says, well, go read your own sign. So I'm just saying there's too many gray areas. There's no precedence for this. So I think people are going to be subject to whatever comes down the pike. And dare I say, you need to be prepared for that, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And I said to you guys not too long ago, when I first showed that they were going to be implementing or trying to enforce these mandates, that you aren't going to be able to just go into these people's restaurants to even use the restroom, because I read it. It says, oh, well, yeah, if you're just going to the restroom, yeah, sure, you'll be able to come in. But yeah, no, you're not going to be able to do that. It's not going to happen. So thank you guys so much for coming in. I'm going to move us on to another segment. Yeah, but and then shout out to TDOA. I wanted to get back to the point in which I was just giving him a shout out because he talked about how California would probably face, now that Newsom has faced a recall, that the people of California now they're going to face some level of retaliation because they challenged this guy. He can make it about Trump. They can try to spin it all they want on Trump, all they want, but it's the people that are going to get hurt in this situation. And that's to his point. They're going to do whatever they can. So, yeah, I mean, who knows? But yeah, I just wanted to, give you a shout out there because yes, this is what happens when we go out here and we're begging these people to, or we're not begging, or we're participating in a process that is enslaving us and tyrannizing us for non-compliance. How are we going to deal with that? And to that end, there is a rally today, I believe. I don't know. It's a rally for the captives from J6 right now. I'm going to be keeping my eye on that today because I know there's somebody up there that's actually going to try to cover the footage. So yeah, so I guess keep an eye on the Capitol deal. But here's my thing. Why hasn't, and I'm just asking, okay? Just asking. Why hasn't the previous administration taken a stronger stance on what happened to people, whether they were actually found guilty of any type of crimes, or why haven't they stood up for the people that are imprisoned behind J6? What does that not? That doesn't jive with me. Why haven't they stood up and offered these people some type of legal, something with some real teeth? Because these protests and all of this stuff, it's just looking like, all the documentation is just looking like for posterity or something. It's a posterity movement going on. We've got influencers up the wazoo. We've got movements. I don't even know what that is anymore. But none of this is changing the course. So where is the action before the people? I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, yeah, it's not gonna be, I mean, we'll see what they'll cover today. But if I get any of that footage, I know the person that I know, that the YouTuber that I know that's actually doing that, that's actually there in DC. If I see any of that, I may try to come in. I may try to cover it a little bit. I will at least share it. But let me read a comment here, and then I'm going to move us on to something else. But yes, so you had some other forces, you had other first responders that were that have shown support for their firefighters that don't support the mocktail mandates in California. So you have that. You have protests going on all over the world. You have people all over the world going on strike. I know France, they will go on strike in a second. They will strike at any moment. So let me read a comment here from Joseph Francis Burton, and then I'll move us on. Joseph Francis Burton says, I get that a lot, even if they think the face flag doesn't work. Quote, well, it's just a bit of harmless cloth. My kids don't mind wearing it. Just put it on and get along. And TDOA says these people are nuts. Yes, thank you so much for tuning in. And so I'm going to stop sharing that one, and I'll be right back. Thank you guys so much. thank you guys once again for coming in on your Saturday. I really appreciate it. But yes, there's been a swath of things going on, and it's not going to stop. It's really not. I think we're going to see more reactions and more footage from restaurants, whether it be, New York, or it's going to be, wherever. But that's it's more than sad that, we see these things happening and people just, just kind of coast. Well, it's not bothering me, so I'm just going to sit here and eat my meal. I'm enjoying my meal. Who cares if that family has to get thrown out and be discriminated against? I'm enjoying myself. Okay, so I do have one other, since we're talking about mocktails here, I want to share this one. This is a little palate cleanser for you guys. So I'm going to share this with you, and then I'm going to drop a link out here because this is more commentary. And I think maybe I have one story out of Florida, and then we'll probably wrap up. So I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. But of course, we'll be keeping an eye on, of course, California as well as New York. So I'm going to share this screen with you guys. This is kind of a mocking for the mocktails. And thank you so much for coming in. I'll give you the full screen on it. But you're right. Just to Joseph Francis Burton's point, if people are willing to give up, they're going to give as many inches as there are. They're not going to push back. They're going to just take it. Take the boot. All right, so let's go with this next one. And this is a YouTuber I'm not familiar. And he's kind of schooling us on mocktail, or if you watch Monograph, the Never Sleepers. Yeah, he's going to show you. He has a bit of a meme on this. This is a short one, so here we go.
Hi, this is a little message to the unvaccinated. You are killing everyone. It's your fault. You're being selfish, so get the vaccine because I'm vaccinated. I am vaccinated, okay? And so I'm protected because the vaccine is safe and effective. So if you're around me and you're unvaccinated, then you're putting me at well, you're not. Okay. So you're selfish because if I'm protected and you're around me, then I'm fine. But you're me. Sorry. If you're not vaccinated, then you're not. It's you're racist, is what I'm saying.
All right. So how's that for you? There you go. Right. There's your all occasion solution there. It's solved. He get to pull out his notebook and his glasses on that one. Let me read the comment here. Marcy T says it's going to get way worse. And a woman at the grocery store said she went to a Martin Luther King memorial and she was run out for not what? Wow. She was run out for not being black. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm on about? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you one more. I have two more clips. Just about everything we're dealing with today is based around the mocktails and the blowback, the pushback, the new era segregation, that kind of a bit. So I'm going to show you, I have something from a couple of firefighters, and I'm going to show you some of the strikes that are going on. So basically, I just have like an imagery for you on the firefighters that are against the mocktail mandates. So I'll show you that. Hope you guys are doing well out there. I really appreciate it. So yeah, it's nice to see, somebody like just get it, be a dead ringer on some of the things that they say. Like they don't have to be accurate about anything that they put out there. They can say one thing today and go and say something else tomorrow in 5 minutes in the same sentence. They can do that, and they have no problem with that. So I'll show you that. And then we'll have a story out of Florida, which we got some eviction issues going on. So I'm going to share this one with you. Okay, so what you see before you on this one, I'm going to give you full screen here. So I think this was during the time, Biden popped out to the West Coast for this whole recall bit. And there you have your imagery where it says firefighters against the mocktail mandates, #freedom. Now, this was a protest. He was getting the business in Long Beach. And actually, I have that one as well. And there is some profanity in there. And yeah, so, I don't know. And I guess this is the rough part for people in California, whether you're conservative or whatever, Republican, whatever you want to call yourself, everybody is not a liberal there, but they are just getting, the wave, and between the corruption and the wave, they don't have a chance. What can they do? Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing that one. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Marcy T says, in Flint, Michigan. Okay, I probably got that out of context, but thank you so much, Marcy T. I really appreciate it. Okay, and then I have another clip where we have, I kind of get down on a global tip here. Of course, France is, they're not taking this stuff lying down, which is, they'll stand up, yellow vest, whatever you want to call it. I really appreciate you guys. So I'm going to show you that clip. So we just have some bits and some commentary here, but I will tell you, I don't know. I forgot. I was told when the final numbers are coming in from that recall, but I don't know. I don't remember what that was. And I'm not sure if Elder's going to challenge based on any of the information or any of the reports or the complaints that were made during the time. I don't know if he is or not. So yeah, so I'm going to show you this clip with a little bit of a strike action going on there. And shout out to everybody that's in the stream and our friends that are over on Twitch. I really appreciate it. So, okay, here we are. I'll give you the full screen on this one. And then I will put the link out there in the event somebody wants to pick up the phone. All right, so this says in France. I'm not sure where in France this is, but I will go ahead and play it for you. So these are the lawyers that are striking here. And so you have doctors striking here as well. So you got your lab coats in the floor, your teachers. So there's no audio here. You have your firefighters here. I may have to dig around into this story a little bit. But I'm not surprised. The nurses here. Your gowns. Yeah, there is no audio there. We do have a nurse in the house. Marcy T. It's Marseille. All right. So yeah, so now we're back to the beginning here. So there you go. You're getting responses everywhere. And all right. So there is your link there. I'm going to take you to our actual liner and we're going to close out the stream. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on your Saturday. I really appreciate it. I'll give you updates as I get them. Actually, if you want to go over to the actual community tab, I have something from Patrick Wood, and there's something for free speech over there right now. I don't know, maybe Megan needs to partner up with some people because she's not going to be able to do her battle alone. She's not. But there is something on the community tab for you, and you can attend this event yourself. So there's an RSVP link in that as well. All right, so we're going to get to our final liner on today. I'm going to take a quick break, come back to our final liner, and I'll say salute to everybody in the stream. All right. And once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in on this segment. There is an event from, I just had it there. I'll go ahead and read it to you, and then I'll make sure that I provide that link on the community tab, because you can also go over to their website and get it. But there's something on it's a town hall is what it is. And I'll just read it to you. I'll read it. And it's the CFFS issues a call to action. It's a national town hall meeting to combat censorship. Okay. The verbiage that I'm reading right now is on the community tab. So let's go over there right now. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the community. Most of you are familiar with the community tab. Hello, Risen Ability. How are you? Thanks so much for coming in. Let's go over there. Let's go over to the community tab. I'm going to show it to you, but then I'll read it from my angle here. Okay. All right. So from the community tab, I posted it, and it looks like I got some people have actually, tapped into this thing. So we'll read it. So here you have, so actually the link is not there. I'm going to put it into the stream for you guys. Okay. So if you want to read the verbiage, you want to follow along with me right now, you can go from there. Here, I'll give you some full screen, but I'll also drop the link in if you want to attend that. It's on the 23rd, I believe. Okay, according to this, with the liberties of American citizens continually being subjected to harsh restrictions by the federal government in partnership with the administrators of the largest social media platforms in the world, Citizens for Free Speech is issuing an emergency call to action. All concerned citizens are encouraged to watch and participate in a national town hall meeting on Thursday, September 23rd at 8:00 p.m. Eastern, 5:00 p.m. Pacific time. Okay, so here again, the CFFS is a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to defending the First Amendment rights of all Americans, and the organization's executive director, Patrick Wood, believes it is time for all hands to be on deck. Quote, "We are approaching a crucial time in our nation," end quote. Wood said, quote, "as we cannot afford to let the restrictions we have been living with for nearly 2 full years become normalized. All 5 of the protections afforded American citizens in the First Amendment to the Constitution have come under attack. And if we don't come together as citizen defenders, there's a very good chance that we will never get these rights back," end quote. CFFS has been one of the leading critics of the suppression of dissenting voices on multiple issues, including the expanding mandates related to the CV-19. The organization staunchly opposed the forced mocktails and face flags compliance, and is deeply concerned about the inability of people to express their views on social media. Quote, "The moderators at Facebook and Twitter have created algorithms that serve to completely silence the voice of their users by flagging any word or language that challenges the orthodoxy of the federal government when it comes to the pandemic," end quote. Wood explained, quote, "Even medical professionals are banned or blocked from presenting sourced material from their own studies if their findings run contrary to the views of the CDC," end quote. The September 23rd CFFS National Town Hall meeting is intended to be a hybrid virtual event. That is, while the national presentation will be made via the Rumble video platform and available to all registrants online, the goal is for citizens to gather together and watch the presentation in congregate settings. Quote, "We want to encourage grassroots activism at the local level in any way we can," end quote. Wood explained, quote, "whether it's a couple of neighbors getting together to watch and discuss what they can do in their own community, or an entire group of friends, family, and coworkers. We want to do this together. There's great strength in numbers, especially when patriotic, like-minded people gather together. Okay, so then here you have the tab. I have the tab for that. I have the tab because Patrick sends me these releases, and this was an immediate one. I'm going to click on the meeting one, and I'm going to put that in the link for you. You guys can go on. I think there's a local. I think there's one you can click on it yourself if you want to attend it, and you can just fill it out from here. So I'm going to put it in for you guys. If you guys want to make this something that you do in your community, however you're affected, if you want to do that, that's fine. Here you go. All right. So there is the actual link there if you want to jump on that meeting. I might attend it. I don't know. I thought about maybe we could watch it on here. I don't know. I'm not sure. But just want to put it out there because I'm not sure what's going on 23rd. But yeah, there's something there for citizens for free speech for First Amendment. So yeah, but this has affected everyone. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you've shared or what you haven't shared, you know, or what you might share in the future. It's going to get to you at some point if you're not towing the rag. Okay. All right. So there's that. And of course, if I have anything else, I'll let you know about it, but I don't have anything else to share, but it is also on the community tab. So you can RSVP and let them know how many people you're bringing, or you're going to how many people you're going to have there. I think they're going to include a panel of experts. Oh my gosh, experts. Dr. Mercola is going to be present. Let me just tell you about that. How about that? I'll share the screen with you guys to see. That's actually I think that sounds like a pretty good event. So I might try to make that because Dr. Mercola has been banned. And he's actually done quite a few studies on his patients that have actually, he's done studies since his patients have actually gone through with this mocktail. So let me go ahead and share. I'm going to share that screen with you so you can see who the guests are. If you know who the guests are, then that might affect whether or not you're going to come, but he's got the best video that I've seen. And it's layman's terms. It's very clear. Hi, Marcy T. Hang on really tight here. I'll be right with you. Okay, so I'm going to bring Marcy T up. Marcy T, how are you?
Hi, everyone. I'm just getting my housework done, and I thought I better get on here and talk with you, Autumn.
Okay.
I have a couple of books that I use.
Okay.
See the cover?
I see the let me see here. I'm trying to I've got my face in the screen, but let me get you in here. Okay, see freedom government.
Freedom from government.
Okay.
Acting with honor as kings. And then we have how to reclaim your power.
Okay.
I ordered these books because I can see where we're going here in this nation. It was horrible. There was 5 or 6 of us, and we were all little older people though, because there was gray in all the hair. But we all stood there. We talked together. I mean, when the people at the grocery store behind the counter is talking about this, and the bag boy, we know it's went viral. This hate and these guys.
Freedom from government.
Yes.
I need to try to get these in. I can share. Can you share those titles in the chat?
Yes.
At your leisure, I
will. You mean write it down, correct?
Yeah, whenever you get a chance, because I can see it, but I don't want them to miss, miss the publisher, miss the title on that, the author on that.
I will surely do it. The guy's on here. He doesn't charge very much, but I tell you what, it is really helping me regain power back. And like you said, the doctor, okay, listen, they did this all at the turn of the century, the last century. They took all the holistic practitioners, threw them in jails, discredited them with saying they were crazy. They took it all, and it was one guy, and he's the same guy that wrote all this stuff, and his name is, Jay-Z always has a clothes line called his name. I don't want to say his name because I don't know if we'll get in trouble.
Yeah, I don't know.
Rockefeller. J. Rockefeller. Okay. This is all Rockefeller.
Wow.
They did this.
I never put those two together. I've had my hip hop in dosage, and it's very small at that, even growing up.
Well, I even know Jay-Z, okay?
Yeah, I know Jay-Z, but the fact that he used Rockefeller
Yeah.
That he
So
put
that
that in
shows
his
you,
in his
yeah.
company, how the elite and how they're running the
Yeah,
like
yeah.
everything.
My granddaughter said,
Hi, how are you?
she heard me over here yelling,
What's
but
the name? What's her name?
her name is Hayden. Come here, Hayden.
Hi, Hayden.
Grandma's lap for a minute. She's my little girl. I mean, I needed her today. Say hi.
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 Where are you?
I am in the deep South,
Oh, cool.
Georgia.
And we're in Michigan, the north. So
All right. It's nice to meet you, Hayden. Thank you for coming by. the youngest visitor.
it is,
Overlords.
you know what? And she told me today, she said, Grandma, when you get angry, you just need to take a few deep breaths, okay? And I was like, out of the mouth of babes.
There you go. There you go, Marcy T. I can. Let me just break it down to the cob. You need to sniff the rose and blow out the candle. Okay.
Yes, I do.
Guess what?
So I'm going to try to calm my voice down here, but this already happened. The last turn of the century. It's the same people behind it all.
Yes,
And
that is the part. That is the part that people don't know and they can't connect it.
They can't understand, but I'm telling you guys, it's all the same. They've been doing this forever. It's always been like this. It was just hidden. So it is going to get worse, but we have got to stick together and we've got to give it up to a higher power because we can't do anything, right? Except for open our mouths. And what are they doing to us? And doing that, hey, the grandma can't breathe. Now, geez. So,
well, thank you so much, Marcy T. And are you seeing this? I was going to go over this. Do you want to stay on screen? Because I'm going to go. I'm going to go.
I want to go to that.
I think I'm going to go to it myself and maybe come back. We can maybe share some notes or something on it.
All right.
Good. So
now Autumn's sharing something.
So this is how to attend. He just says, this is Patrick. Patrick has been on our show before. Patrick and Mary have been on the show before, and they talked about the First Amendment in more details. But it says use RSVP below, indicate how many other people you will bring to the event through personal invitations to your home or business. And this information can be edited later if your situation changes. Okay, so the panel of experts. So it's going to be, they have key speakers who have had personal and firsthand experience with censorship and editorial persecution. All are actively involved in efforts to push back. So the biggest hitter for me is the second one. Patrick is fantastic on technocracy and globalization. He's written a lot of books, and of course he's publishing, of course, with the American Thinker, as well as he's writing for Epoch Times as well. So they picked him up during this situation. But Dr. Mercola, shout out to Derek C. Williams. I bet Derek's interested in this. Derek is has shared a lot of professionals. But Dr. Mercola is the founder of Mercola.com, New York Times bestselling author, board certified family medicine and leading provider of information to help people take control of their own health. And Google canceled up to 95% of his search traffic over his views of institutionalized medicine and drug therapies. So they have suppressed him like majorly. Not familiar with Catherine Austin Fitts, but she's president of Solari Inc., publisher of Solari Report, and managing member of Solari Investment Advisory Services, LLC. She has served as the Assistant Secretary of Housing and Federal Housing Commissioner at the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development in the first Bush administration. Bill Martinez, a nationally syndicated conservative radio talk show host, heard in over 300 markets. He is a media veteran and an expert on free speech. So I think they're trying to offer. I think the presentation could probably be pretty good, and maybe even bring in some new conversations, have some different conversations. But people, I want to say people need to wake up. Marcy T, do you think that's over? Is that oversaid? What else?
It can never be oversaid, but the fact that I went to a grocery store at 8:00 this morning, there was 6 of us in there talking. They have no idea what we're talking about. Okay. That's the sad reality. These
Yes.
people have turned on that idiot box that tells lie to their vision, and they don't know nothing but that.
You're right.
And we are the ones that have to tell them, or else nobody will. And you guys, this is imperative. You see what they're doing, and she is right when she said that they are making a new sort of racism, but it's not against any skin color this time. It's against our brains because we can think.
Yes, and I think some people are going to be even able to they're going to be enabling people to get away with other crimes just because
Yes.
they've
They
complied. The compliance
Yes.
is the new way of life, is the
Yes,
new way to be
that's
accepted.
because you're giving homage to your master there, aren't you? By
Yeah.
attacking everybody.
So that's what I have, on that. But I think that I'm glad I didn't miss that link on that, because that's a formidable professional. Mercola is. So yeah, Derek C. Williams, if you're up there.
These doctors that they called the Dirty Dozen are real doctors. They're doing this on purpose. It's like the leper communities they made. Do you see?
Mm-hmm.
But it's medical tyranny. So nobody can say anything because who knows about medical things?
No.
See?
I hear you, Marcy T. I really do. And I have one other story from RT I'm going to share with you guys. And that's I think that we have a Florida landlord determined to force tenants to get.
That is not even in the American vocabulary, people. Come on. We got to wake up these fools. I'm sorry.
It's pretty intense. Do I have someone else popping in? Hang on one second.
I hope it's Derek.
Oh my God, you're so funny. TDOA.
Hey, TDOA.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm hanging around, TDOA. This stuff is more than concerning and disturbing. I'm gonna pull this one out of here and get you guys on the screen. There you go.
Who's that? Is that your granddaughter?
Yes, that's my Hayden. She's 6.
Oh, cool. I think I have a 6-year-old kid. I got so many kids.
I wish they could come over and visit her because she needs a friend right now.
My kids need friends too.
I know, right?
Because there are not many kids with parents that think like me. So.
Oh, right on. I know that's right.
When you homeschool your kids, they're not really, around a bunch of other kids like that. So.
This is the one that my son, the 30-year-old son, not Christopher, but Eddie, he's sending her to school with.
Really?
Yeah. And he won't listen to me. He thinks I'm just his mother, and I don't know anything.
Well, the best thing we can do is give them as much information as possible. Right?
Yes.
That's true, Mars. You just keep hanging in there. I think he's going to walk into some of this, and it might be from somebody else. Sometimes it's somebody else that if you've planted the seed.
I bet you he'd listen to you, TDOA, because he's a man.
Uh-oh, TDOA.
Oh, he got froze.
All we need to do is show them that proof that all we have to do is show them proof that the masks don't work, that they don't prevent viruses, especially those cloth masks.
Yeah.
If they're allowing you to put a T-shirt over your face, I mean, we know that's nothing but symbolism. So
exactly, for muzzling. Do not speak. Speak when spoken to only. No, I won't live like that.
Nope, I won't either.
Well,
it looks like my time in California is going to be a lot shorter than I thought, because a lot of the contractors that I could go work for are going to be requiring that you become GMO. So
no, we're not going to do that ever. None of us. We know. We learned from history. That's what nobody else did.
Nope, they sure didn't. I ain't gonna be able to do it.
Nope.
Well,
You know what?
TDOA, you've been blazing on your live streams, and it's like I gotta catch up. Like how did I miss this one?
Oh, that was awful, wasn't it? I couldn't stay off that guy. I kept hammering him.
Yeah, I saw you. I saw you.
He was being a little creep.
You talking about Junie?
Yeah, Junie.
Well, you saw at the end of the day he had to concede, right?
Yes, he did.
He
And
had
I
to-
love your spirit.
I agree with a lot of what you're saying. So why are you busting my balls?
Right. Because he's mad because he got tricked.
Yeah, he's mad because he got the jab and he can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
Exactly.
That's why these people are mad. They're mad because they did something stupid. To me, it's stupid. And it's not just for Modelo 19. Any vaccine.
Exactly.
Any vaccine. That's why they always say, well, all medicines and vaccines. Jabs have all medicine and jabs have side effects. So then why would I take them?
Right.
Yeah.
Why would I
It's
take
like,
them?
oh, thank you for making my case for me.
But you know what? They're using the people just like this character in your chat yesterday, TDOA. They're doing the dirty work for the government. They're recruiting like they're being paid almost.
Do you know why? It's because their IQ level has went to the bottom of the snake barrel, so to speak.
Guess who's in the chat? It's Derek C. Williams. Derek C. Williams, check out that link for the 23rd. I put it out there.
The problem is they've been so conditioned to comply. You know what I mean? They don't have any critical thinking skills. There's a reason I got kicked out of high school in the 10th grade.
There's a reason I didn't go.
Right. I missed all of 10th grade. I missed like 60 days of school in the 10th grade.
Wow.
So it was because like I didn't understand why I had to be there. It was like going to prison every morning.
Yeah.
It was like going to jail. I was being institutionalized. I was like, why am I doing this?
See, they've known us since then, didn't they? They've known our personality type. They knew we would never comply. This is really deep.
I had to see a psychiatrist when I was 12 years old because I was incorrigible. I'm such a rebel. You know what I mean? But now that I went to the Army, which was good because I was able to control that and gain some discipline.
That's what I did.
Now I'm a smart rebel. You know what I mean? I know what I'm doing it for now.
Yep. Exactly.
See there, what you're saying, TDOA. It's like I think if we could all take the knowledge we have right now and put it into that 10th grade body, that 15, 16-year-old body, what would you be? What would you do?
Well, I would be going around telling my fellow students, hey, do you know why you're in school? Do you know why?
And it's not to learn.
It's not to learn, exactly. I mean, learning is just a cover.
Right.
It's just a cover to teach you how to be compliant little, whatnot.
Citizens, they call them.
I would insist my mother to homeschool me. Like, look, y'all need to homeschool me. I don't need to go to school. But of course, both my parents had to work because that's just what they had to do. So
that was the plan, to get the parents away from the kids so they could teach us this nonsense.
And that's why as soon as I found out I was having my first kid, I said, we're homeschooling our children. I can now do what should have been done to me and homeschool my children. My children have never been to school, so
But it's funny you guys say that because Biden said that he was adding 2 years on the front and 2 years on the back.
On the back of what?
On the back of the public education right now, school.
What?
Yeah, so you're gonna go 2 years. I'd imagine instead of
Wait. He wants you to go to a 14th grade. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's what I gather from it. Like it's almost
What?
like, yeah, like what are they gonna do with four more years, TDOA?
Oh, 15,000 hours ain't long enough, huh? They need to add another. They need to add another 2,000 or 3,000 hours.
That's what I'm.
Something else, man. I tell you, Joe Biden, that little creep. They tried to make Trump look like he was a tyrant. I mean, they're all part of the left-right paradigm lie. Some type of dichotomy going on, and there has to be the illusion of this side versus that side. But with each administration, it gets worse and worse. They had to present Trump as though he was, the left had to present him as he was a tyrant. But Joe Biden is actually a tyrant. He's actually doing tyrannical things,
That's
especially
true.
but he's being challenged left and right, which is good,
Do either or any of you guys feel like this is another setup to make it look like they're throwing that other one down the tubes? I can tell right now. Bitten. Yeah, they're throwing them, but why? And then they got that Trump train nonsense going down.
Well, there's a J6 rally for the prisoners, I think today in DC, and I'm just thinking the ones that they have that they're detained from the J6 from the insurrection, those people. And I heard I've heard twice that they said, "Oh well, Roger Stone and Trump says not to go there. It's a setup." So I don't know what's going to happen there. I know somebody is covering it today.
I think
he was there last night.
Everyone stay away from left, right. Sorry.
I heard that they were going to sue Roger Stone and Trump and all that other stuff.
For what?
Exactly. That's not an insurrection. I'm getting tired of people saying it was insurrection. That was not an insurrection.
Yeah.
That was a planned demic too, just like all the rest of it. Come on, man.
That was a tour guide. That was a White House tour. Or White House. That was
exactly
a Capitol tour where they got a little rowdy. That's all it was.
And I saw them open the doors and the gates for these people. And I also saw the setup of that so-called DEAD person. That was a lie.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, like I said, I don't know what. I mean, how many of these rallies and stuff? I don't know. Like a lot of people got named as persons of interest from that. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Angela Stanton King. She has said that she was named because she was pardoned by Trump, and she's named. Right. But she videoed herself on the riding by, and I guess somebody just took it down, or they submitted it. You see what I'm saying? Like if you're in the vicinity of these places, you're gonna get turned in.
What happened to the burden of proof?
There's no such thing as that. They only care about the proof that they want to provide.
And I'm getting really irritated with this. I mean, I just want to, and this is what it's supposed to do. So I don't know how to stop thinking about everything either.
You need to go fishing, Marcy. I don't know what to go hiking.
Yeah, I need to do what TDOA does.
Yeah. Get that pack on.
Yeah. And
when's the lifestyle channel coming out, TDOA? That's all we want to know.
When I have to stop working.
Hey, thank you for doing this for us, TDOA. You don't know what an inspiration you are to all of us just by putting 70, 80 pounds on your back and trucking.
I appreciate
We're
it.
all just like, wow, this guy is business.
Yep. Because they're not going to they're not going to carry anything for me when the stuff goes down.
You're
They're
right.
not here. Take this cart. No, they're going to come at you with full force, and you got to be able to make moves. You know,
You know, they did that to me in boot camp. I went there and I brought a bunch of crap, and they gave me a green bag, said, carry it. You brought it. And I was like, what did I do? I forgot that lesson till you just told me again. Thank you.
all I brought was too much. I knew better. I was like, I was warned by my recruiter.
Mine was a creep.
Don't take all that stuff. Oh, you don't need all that. Nope. Just take a toothbrush and some toothpaste. That's all you need. They'll give you everything. They'll give you underwear. They'll give you t-shirts. They give you everything. People are showing up with blankets and
I had perfume, makeup, all of it.
yeah, you got to use these scratchy wool blankets.
Where's my baby suit?
I'm looking. What do you think I'm doing?
Well, at least let me just give a hello to Mr. Act Now or Never, Mr. Adon. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. But yes, okay. So what we have, we've got Marcy T and we've got TDOA on, and we've got Marcy T's granddaughter on today.
Hey, Taylor Jade.
Don't be telling your whole name to everybody. She just said, go get my bathing suit, Grandma, so I could get up and she could come on.
Is that what see? Look at that.
Like grandma, like granddaughter.
She's fast. She's fast on her feet.
She's got me running, let me tell you. But yeah,
I'm telling you, every day, every week there is. And oh my gosh, I didn't even get into that situation with the thousands of people. It's like there's a stadium full of people under that bridge down in Texas. Have you guys seen that?
No.
There's like, I think it was like 10,000, and now they're saying it's 12,000. And somebody put a big sign up in the sea of people that says, "Keep this coupon." And you see the border patrol, not border patrol, but you see the guard down there with water bottles, cases of water. I'm like, this is.
So those are from the border.
Yes.
Now, guess what? I just got in my email in Alma, Michigan, which is, I don't know, 60 miles from here, maybe in the 1,300 miles from the border. They happen to have nursing home space available. What happened to all the nursing home patients that were there last year or 2 years ago? So now they're going to bring boys, they said, in to Michigan, Alma, Michigan, to nursing home places because these are unaccompanied minors. Why? Who are these?
And we can't do anything without.
It's a Trojan horse.
I'm telling you, it's depressing is what it is.
Yes.
It was depressing to see, it's just depressing to see how quickly things can change.
It is.
Change and the destruction. And then, I mean, my gosh, we're only 8-9 months into this regime. Can you imagine 36 more months?
Baby suit.
No. I mean, I think we live in a governmentless world, actually, now. This ain't our government. We can't call it OR or OUR, ours. It's not. It belongs to, I think, Red Dragon Bill.
Well, see, now you're on. You see, like the dominance. It's like a little bit of all of their. It's like we've become what they were, or
Yes. Oh, here they are.
Yeah. I mean, Hayden is back. Oh my gosh, get out of the screen, sweetie.
You got that's her bathing suit.
Oh, I can't see it. I couldn't see her.
Got her bathing
I couldn't see her. I couldn't see anything but
we got a
shoulders.
we got a hot tub, so she's asking me, and every time she asks me to get her the bathing suit, I get up, she takes my seat.
Oh, you got a hot tub, huh?
See, you got the right idea, Marcy. See, you need to take yourself. You need a staycation, a nice staycation.
I can't. My mind keeps thinking about all this.
And you're saying you're getting people are waking up at the grocery store, the cashiers.
Mm-hmm.
But
And the big boys.
Downstairs, I swear.
People are waiting everywhere. They just don't want you to know it. You know?
Well,
They don't
these
want-
ones did. Listen, TDOA, this woman, she was in there saying, I love everybody. And I see that this place is racist. And she's like, I went to
Look who's
Martin-
here.
a Martin Luther King memorial, and they chased her out because she wasn't black.
Wait, hold on.
Hang on just a second. I've got Derek C. Williams is here. Ta-da-ta.
Wait a minute.
Saturday Delight, right? Here we go.
Yeah, I'm having difficulties with my camera, but first off, shout out and respect due to Black Spring with Autumn Intelligence done right. Marcy T, bless you.
Thank
My
you.
brother, Snapzilla Gorilla, he's down with us.
What's
Yeah.
good, bro?
Yeah, everything all right. Look, I'm trying to work on this camera, so just well, y'all know what I look like. But anyway, I just want to say really quick. You have 1, 2, 3 ex-military people, and I believe Black Spring with Autumn's father was ex-military, I believe. And
Yeah, I got it on
everybody
both
is,
sides.
and it seems like the people who were ex-military, a lot of them, they not capitulating. They would never give in to taking this thing. As y'all know, as a term of my employment, I had to take the flu shot, but they also want us to take this jab. I'm not doing that. I would just say this to y'all. There are always ways to get around stuff. And so that's my route. So I'll just leave it at that. But there's always a way around this thing. So I just leave it there. All right.
I'm allergic to night calls, so
Yeah. So am I. Everybody is.
I need to
I'm
let my doctor.
allergic to poison, so
So am I.
Well, yeah, but definitely Derek C. Williams. Check out the link. Marcola is actually going to be on the
I will.
20. Yeah, it's RSVP. Bring who you want, you know. But some of these people you can show it
Oh,
to
you
them,
know
and
what?
they still.
I actually did sign up for that. That's the one with Patrick Wood, right?
Yes, because you guys remember Patrick.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was a
I'm
while
already-
back.
Yeah, I already RSVP'd. It's September 23rd, right?
Right. I'm going to do
Yeah.
it today. Do it like now.
It's in DC, right?
Yeah.
It's 5
Wait,
p.m.
say again?
Pacific Standard. It's 5 Pacific Standard Time. 5 p.m. for the Pacific Coast, and then it's 8 for the Eastern Standard Time, I believe. Yeah. So I'm going to make sure I sign up for that. Is what I'll
Yeah.
do. But I put it out there, and it's also the letter is in the community tab. So, but if you're signed up for CFFS, then you can get all of that stuff too.
Yes.
But
Yeah, they
it's
have
the-
good information on that. Yeah, but I just want to pop in real quick just to back up everything you all was saying. The other day, Marcy T said that she was getting upset with the guy in the chat, and it's always been my thing. This is what me and Snap Turtle we line up all the way. The thing is that when you're talking to people, you have to understand that many people, they willfully ignorant. You're not going to be able to sell them. You better off just hitting them with facts, information, and then over time, just like at the end, when this guy left Snapzilla Gorillas live, he was saying, "Well, I agree with everything you said," and Snap was right. Well, why would you say all what you said? It was almost like you're trying to pull your chain. So what I'm saying is, you don't let nobody pull your chain on this or any topic. If you have your facts together, can't nobody touch you, but you definitely can affect them. And so what I did was, for an example, I had just said, well, that's great that you took the shot. Well, now we know that this spike protein is coursing all through your body, and Lord be with you if you want to do that. But don't never let them know that you're upset. People do that just to get a reaction, Marcy. And so long as you have your facts and your information, it doesn't matter what anybody says for its negativity, because they don't have a leg to stand on. They're negative because they don't have information. You do. So you stand on that and you keep kicking. That's all. And so I just wanted to say that a little bit, and I'm gonna drop back down because I'm cleaning. And Black Spring with Autumn, thank you for having me on. Marcy T, Snapzilla, y'all take care of yourself here.
much love, brother Derek.
Thank you, Derek. Thank you for coming
Yes.
on. And
Yes, ma'am.
we're just waiting for your next channel to come out.
Yes, ma'am. I'm considering it. Thank you. I might
Go
do.
back.
Yes,
Go
ma'am.
back.
All right. Well, y'all take care.
You
All
too.
right.
Thank you, Derek. Take care. God bless.
Bye bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
I think TDOA took off on us.
Yeah, I know, but maybe you got dropped the call. So TDOA, you can come back in at any time. But yeah, I'm just saying, it's interesting that people are. It's just that why did they wait so long? But so it's almost like people have remorse, like they have jabber's remorse.
Yeah.
And they want you to come in so that they can. What can they live? So they can live with it now? Or I mean, what do you want? You're back. You're back. So I don't know. I don't know what to. We can hear you, TDOA.
Yeah, we can see you too, Snap.
Oh, and then he dropped again. Yeah, but I have a friend that he is. I'm just saying, just don't. It was none of their business in the first place. Like, why are you sharing? It's this discernment. It's not people that you think of as friends. It's really dividing people.
Yeah, it is.
It's really tearing people apart. And it just as soon as you let them in, that's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to continue to do. But let me pull this. I'm curious about this liner from Florida and this landlord, forcing these tenants.
Hold on.
I mean, I think that moratorium is up again as well next month. You see how they keep kicking that can down the road?
What? They took it away and then they gave it back again?
Yeah, and I think it's October. It comes up again. October, that it's not.
Oh, in October, when it's supposed to do our fiscal budget that will never be balanced again, as long as we're and our generation after generation after generation.
We're going to stay in debt.
It's like it's done for, people. Why are you trying to unscramble an egg into your arm and then think you can take that sucker back and put it in that eggshell? You ain't going to do it.
Nope.
No matter if you yell at me or not.
It's bizarro land. I'm telling you, I started this out with the zombie recall, and there are zombies everywhere.
They are. I've seen them walking down the street, you guys. I am not kidding. This woman had a bunch of scabs on her chest, and her eyes were like this big, and her pupils were real tiny, and she was walking. And I was like, I don't know, somebody walking down the street.
What? You know what's funny?
Yikes.
I was when I was going to the stairs with my daughter that day, I did that live stream. She saw a bunch of people wearing masks outside. She said, "Why are people wearing masks outside and exercising?"
Oh my goodness! Out of the mouth of babes.
She's 11. She said, "Why are people outside wearing masks and exercising?"
I got a granddaughter, 11 too.
Idiot. Huh?
I have an 11-year-old granddaughter. See, you got to move closer.
Oh yeah.
I'll teach too. I'm a good teacher. I'll teach anybody's kids.
Yeah. Well, that's what we need. That's what we need. We need community teachers, not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to come out of this world somehow and say we don't want none of your crap, you guys. None of it.
Nope.
You can't give us nothing. And it's not about left, right, blue, red, green, or yellow.
Say it. It's like we gotta let that go. We gotta cut the cord on that.
Exactly.
Cut it.
Definitely, we gotta let that go. We gotta let that left right BS go, because it's not serving anything. It's not, it's
What?
It keeps us embroiled in the nonsense. That's what it does.
Exactly. Are you wrecking again, brother?
No, I'm going to farmer's market right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll be rucking tomorrow.
Tell us what time. Tell us what time, so everybody so we can get over there.
It'll probably be around 7, but I'll probably be going with the whole family. So we're gonna do a family hike.
That's awesome.
Okay, guys, you heard it here from TDOA.
He's out. He's going to have his family time. I need to have family time. I lost weight. It's been almost 2 years, and it's like I decided this week I'm tired of this. I'm tired of it.
have you guys been locked down? Like, did you guys have a longer lockdown, or just the
I think I did
restrictions?
it to myself.
Ah.
But now I go out and everybody, it says you got to wear a mask. That offends me. When I see it at the door and I'll walk through the door like attitude up. Like, how dare you tell me to muzzle myself? I'm just sick of it now. It's nonsense. Right. You know, it's 400 times smaller than that mask.
It's painful is what it is.
To me, it is. Virus. 400 times
if you can smell breath,
mask.
If you can smell a fart through that mask.
And you
I told that to somebody. I said, if you can smell bad breath through that mask, that means that bacteria is getting through.
Yeah.
And if bacteria is getting through, then it's damn sure it's not stopping the virus. The virus is 200 to 1,200 times smaller than a bacteria.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can smell somebody's bad breath and smell a fart, it's not working. Period. That is just what it is. All it's doing is stopping you from getting the amount of oxygen you need to get.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it's doing.
Here's the other trend now, and I'm not whatever they want to call it. I'm not fat shaming or whatever, but it seems the people that are most concerned about it, about whether you're with it or without it, they're the most unhealthy people in the room. And if you look at our healthcare system, even our healthcare professionals, Nurse Butcher is not healthy, but she knows how to make you healthier. She's got all the answers for you, but she's not healthy. Just saying.
They want to keep eating their Oreos.
And I know from a professional point of view that nurses are a bunch of bitchs, and you can't tell them nothing. And it's like, and the bigger ones, the badder ones, they're always the most, rawr, 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 you know. Yeah. I'm like, why did I become a nurse? I'm too nice for this position.
That's true. I mean, I'm just looking at the hypocrisy, you know, from it's just, I'm like, oh my God, you're worried about me and you're eating everything that comes in sight.
And a McDonald's. Oh my God, I don't know how anybody can eat fast food now.
And Wendy's and but 2 years ago, Anthony Fauci said the right thing when he was talking about infection. He was on Bloomberg. And the guy, I forgot his name. The guy Rosenthien, you know, one of the J words. How do you do? This was 2 years ago, 2019, like almost right before, you know, Modelo 19 came out. He said, "So should we wear masks?" He's like, "No." He said, "You just need that. You exercise, you know, eat
clean air,
get some vitamin D,
clean water."
Stop drinking alcohol a lot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Much alcohol, this, that, and the third. Like, what happened to that? That's the Anthony Fauci that should have been. That should be Anthony Fauci right now. Get your ass off the couch, take your mask off, go outside, and then he said, "Get rid of the paranoia." That's what he said. But now,
he's throwing it at us.
He wants us to be paranoid.
Right.
You know what I mean? So what happened to all that? Like, I just don't get it. I get it though. We get it. He had to change the narrative to fit the Hegelian dialectic that at play here. So, you know, they're not going to tell you to go out and get exercise. You know, you guys should check out. You guys know Dr. What's his name? Damn it, I forgot his name. I didn't take my ginkgo biloba this morning.
I need some of that. I forget everything. Wait, is it Dr. Andy? Is his first name Andrew Kaufman?
No, not Kaufman.
Okay.
Another guy.
Is it Rashid Buttar? If you think of it, you can just drop it.
He's gonna go look at it. She's outside now.
Okay. I appreciate you so much for coming on, Marcy.
I love coming on here because we have to brainstorm together in order to get this taken care of. All of us. It's going to take every last one of us. And I believe that love will conquer all. I truly do. If we can just love each other instead of pointing our fingers and saying something about somebody, it's like, just forget everything and just love each other, please. We need love. And everybody's hurt, and that's why they point fingers.
Absolutely.
It's like, go back to kindergarten, all of us, and learn how to act. I love you guys. I do. And I'm here in the fight with you, and I'll never stop. But
thank you, Marcy. I appreciate it. Love to you too.
I love
enjoy
you
your granddaughter. Enjoy your granddaughter.
Yeah, I'm sorry I get silly.
No, it can be overwhelming. But yeah, just take your ride your waves. Ride the good waves.
Bike too today. We just took a long walk. Now we're gonna play in the pool and walk again. I'm just gonna go exercise all the time now.
Do it.
I'm going to look like a TDOA in a minute. Just kidding.
Get it cracking.
Get cracking, crack-a-lacka.
Get it. But
I love you guys.
You heard of Dr. Sean Baker? Sean Baker, MD. He goes by Sean Baker, MD on YouTube. He has a lot of good information. So
I'm gonna plug that one. I'll certainly look it up.
Sean Baker, MD. He does a lot of really short videos, just giving his thoughts on what's going on. But he's a doctor and he understands these things, and he he's really about freedom as well. And he exercises a lot. He does a lot of. He's like 50-some years old, and he jumps 40 inches with 65-pound weights. He's a beast. But check him out. You know what I mean? I just stumbled across him last week, so. I like his videos, so that's somebody you guys want to check out.
Well, it's nice to see that if you've got a professional that's actually showing their lifestyle, that that the knowledge and the lifestyle kind of matches up. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? That makes a huge difference.
his matches up. He talks about the stuff that's going on now, and he also gives some exercise tips and stuff like that. But he always says, the best way to fight this thing is to go outside, exercise, all that. Same thing I'll be saying, man,
Yeah, well, you and Derek both have been very big. You guys have always maintained, your freedom to go outside and do what you need to do or what you want to do this entire time. You guys have been very consistent with that. And so, yeah, shout out to you guys for doing that.
Face flag.
Yeah, those things are like I say, it's painful to wear them. Like it's like your brain, it's like you start shoving, you're shoving everything back in the brain.
Yeah, that's what you're doing. You're not allowing the pollutants and the contaminants to exit your body. That's what your respiratory system is for. It's to provide oxygen to the body, but it's also to expel things that shouldn't be in the body that it could get rid of, that that you don't secrete through sweat or urinate and defecate. You also those are things that get rid of waste, but you also get rid of waste through breathing as well. So, but you keep that mask on all day, you're not going to do that. And that's why people get sick, Legionnaire's disease and all kind of stuff. So,
yikes.
Yep. All right.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, I thank you so much for coming on, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tyrants Bane TDOA, and I will certainly get over for tomorrow's ruck session.
Yep.
Ruck on time. Ruck on time.
Rucking live. Yep. So we'll get that in tomorrow, and I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Thanks so much, TDOA. Have a good day.
Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. All right, guys. Well, we are going to. I did have that the liner on the actual on the evictions, so I guess I'll take you guys to that, and then we'll wrap up. But we've had 3 people on today, and I appreciate you guys for coming on. And yeah, so any sightings or anything you want to share? Thanks for sharing that. Sharing that source. TDOA. It looks like Joseph Francis Burton has jumped on there. And Joseph Francis Burton says, I'm going to say it right before I get on to that link. It says, I jog in the desert almost every day, about 30 minutes per week. It is sometimes torture, but good for the body and mind. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take us to our final liner today. And thank you guys again. Tyrant Spain, TDOA, and Marcy T. I appreciate you guys for coming on in these times and sharing it. And to your granddaughter, thank you so much for coming on. So I'm going to share this link with you guys and see what's happening. Now you've got all these, there's no unified ecosystem in this situation. It seems like we have one mayor's doing one thing and one mayor's doing another thing. And it's just not looking like, it's not unified at all. It's just all over the place. So this one's from RT, and I will give you the full screen on that. All right. So here for our final piece on today, we headlines today. Headline closer is a Florida landlord determined to force tenants to get the CV-19 mocktail or be evicted, even as the governor's office insists it's illegal. So it's just like, we're just all over the place. All right. So according to this little imagery here, it says the police is going door to door in South Florida to encourage the mocktails uptake. So yeah, but that's everybody. I'm just doing as I'm told. According to this, despite Florida governor's office calling the move, quote, illegal, end quote, and an active ban on CV mandates, a landlord who owns 1,200 apartments in the south of the state is standing by his decision to require tenants get mocktailed or get out. Santiago Alvarez, whose apartments are spread across 8 Southern Florida buildings, announced last week that his employees and new tenants must show proof of mocktail by August 15th, which I'm wondering if that's correct. They got the right date on that. That's okay. So it's already been in the work. So they're supposed to do it by August 15th, I'm going to presume, because this was published this month. So this is at the latest. The current tenants of his building, concentrated in Miami-Dade and Broward counties, must be mocktailed before attempting to renew their leases. He added, insisting that as a private property owner, he is, quote, just trying to keep people safe and healthy, end quote. All lost profits aside, he claims to have lost between 12 and 15 employees to CV-19, which he himself survived earlier this year. But you see, it's funny that he talks about his own experience, but he doesn't talk. Is he talking about how he remedied his situation? How was he? Did he? Because some of these people, they went with, they chose what they wanted to do at the beginning of this thing. People were doing quarantine, and then we went from a quarantine to where we are now. So I don't know whether that was his way of dealing with it, but I'm sorry, I digress. However, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' sweeping ban on the mocktail passports, which took effect on Thursday, renders Alvarez's demands illegal, according to the governor's press secretary, Christina Pushaw. Not only can a, quote, business owner not require mocktail passports as a condition of entry, end quote, but jobs and housing should not be threatened over a, quote, personal medical decision, end quote, she told Breitbart on the day the law took effect, criticizing the, quote, unscientific and overreaching mocktail mandates, end quote, being forced on Americans by the White House and by local authorities. Quote, as a side note, it is ironic how the left is all for the CDC's unconstitutional eviction moratorium, but they apparently have no problem with a landlord threatening to evict lawful paying tenants over a mocktail status, end quote, Pushaw concluded. Referring to the ban on evictions that has put small landlords in a bind for the past year, as they have been rendered unable to evict deadbeat tenants and find renters willing to pay. So obviously this made the Twitter buzz, with Alvarez's lawyer Juan Zorrilla has argued the landlord is not violating DeSantis's order, given the tenants are neither, quote, customers nor, quote, patrons, end quote. The Federal Fair Housing Act bans showing or threatening to show preference, limitation, or discrimination in renting or selling real estate based on race, color, religion, sex, disability, familial status, or national origin. The definition of, quote, disability is broad and has already been used to challenge the face flags and other CV restrictions elsewhere. However, Zoria explained that Alvarez, rumored to be the first large-scale U.S. landlord to impose mocktail requirements on the inhabitants of his building, was open to making exceptions for tenants or employees who opted not to mocktail for medical or religious reasons. The landlord himself sounded less than compromising, speaking to Washington Post earlier this week, though, quote, "You don't want to get mocktailed. You have to move," end quote, Alvarez told the outlet, quote, "and if you don't move, one must move forward with eviction," end quote. The landlord slammed jab refuseniks for, quote, "a lack of consideration for your neighbor, a lack of consideration to their own families, to their children," end quote. He insisted most of his tenants and employees were grateful for the mandate, though at least 2 employees and 1 tenant have already been forced out. Jasmine Irby, a 28-year-old security guard, filed a complaint with the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, arguing she would be permitted to renew her lease without having to, quote, disclose her personal health information, end quote. While 2 of Alvarez's nearly 70 employees quit upon receiving a letter from the boss telling them to get jabbed or be fired. And finally, under the new state law, the Florida Department of Health is authorized to issue $5,000 fines to businesses, government offices, and educational institutions that demand proof of mocktail. DeSantis has been one of the most vocal political opponents of the mocktail mandates, squaring off with Republican allies in states like Texas against President Joe Biden and a handful of Democratic governors. Business owners and mid-level government officials in Florida, Texas, and other no-mandate states have taken it upon themselves to enforce variations of federal mocktails, mask mandates, in spite of state authorities setting up a series of legal battles in schools and businesses. Elsewhere, employees have quit en masse rather than take the jab, leaving municipalities with shortages of neonatal nurses in upstate New York or school bus drivers in Massachusetts. So yeah, we got into that the other night. So yeah, but I think this is far from over, but I don't know where this is going to go. Is you're getting temporary, some of these, I guess these judges are actually giving temporary bans, but they're not, the long term is what, you might get a break for a second, but then what? If it's a temporary ban, I think there was a New York judge that issued a temporary ban on something out of New York. But what do you do with temporary? I mean, are you temporary going to have freedom or 4 more months? How long is temporary? They're not spelling these things out. TDOA, we're talking about, we had a landlord in Florida that is basically demanding that the tenants get mocktailed or be evicted. And even though DeSantis says it's illegal, and even those who are up for renewals have the same issue. So who knew, right? Who knew? Okay. I'm going to take a quick break and I'm going to come back and say salute to everyone on your Saturday. Thank you guys so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. And thank you to Marcy T, Torrance Bain TDOA, and Derek C. Williams for coming in. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Commercial, and then we're going to do a quick infomercial, and then I'll say salute to everyone in the chat. Thank you guys so much. All right, guys, thank you so much. And just FYI, it looks like the rally in DC has started. Yeah, so if you're in that neck of the woods, or if you know anything about that, let us know. Yeah. So I'm going to say salute to everybody in the stream. So we have Marcy T. Thank you so much for coming in and for supporting the channel the way that you do, and for also coming in and picking up the phone with us today. And TDOA, thank you so much for coming in and supporting the channel and being on our open panel today. John H. Roberts Jr., thank you, over on Twitch. And the Twitch, we're getting some ground speed over there on Twitch. So I'll roll out something for that later. But thank you guys. Fancy Truth, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Jermaine G, thank you for coming in. Otto the Watchdog, thank you for coming in. Joseph Francis Burton, thank you for being a supporter and for coming in. Thank you for sharing with us. You're always, your candor is always appreciated around here. And who else do I have? I think maybe that's Reasonability was here earlier. Thank you so much for coming in. And check out the community tab. Pre-Dem, I didn't say hello earlier. Thank you, Pre-Dem, for coming in. And Mr. Act Now or Never, Mr. Anon, thank you so much for coming in. It's nice to see you. And I think that's going to be it. I appreciate it. Marcy T says, fire me, pay me unemployment. All right. Well, I appreciate it. And I will see you guys later. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. There's the Justice for J6. That's the rally that's going on in DC today. So I don't know. We'll see. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your Saturday.